Please try this question. Pause the video and try this question on your own before you hear me out. So in this question, what you have to do is you have to look at the impact of this statement on the above argument. Okay, pause the video. Okay, in this video, I want to highlight the difference between sign and magnitude. Okay, sign is essentially direction, which I'm going to talk about. Now, this is an efficient question, and in the efficient question, this option has a strength and impact. This strengthens the above argument because it indicates that there was that some trade opened up in the 10th century. Okay, now a lot of people I see that reject this option, saying that this has no impact because just because gold coins have been found at this site but at no earlier site doesn't mean that important medieval trade began in the 10th century. Right? Just because there are gold coins there, and these gold coins may not be even belonging to the 10th century site. It could be belonging to an earlier site, but they have just been found at a 10th century site. People have these kind of confusions when they evaluate option A. So they think this doesn't really mean anything, so this has no impact. Okay, but as I said, this is actually a strengthener. Okay, so now the objective of this video is to reconcile that. Okay, so what I'm trying to focus is that we need to focus on the sign or the direction of the option first. So when you say this has no impact, are you saying this is a completely neutral statement? This has absolutely no indication that whether some trade opened up at this moment in the 10th century or not. For example, let's say we are having this argument that CJ and Anish met. Okay, now if somebody says, actually, I recently saw Anish reading a book that belongs to CJ. Now, is it a completely neutral statement on the conclusion that CJ and Anish met recently? No, right? It has some impact. It increases the belief that they met, right? But does it prove that they met? No, of course. I could have couriered my book to Anish, right? So the point here is that does the option have a direction or is it completely neutral? So does it have a sign? Right now it has a direction, it has a sign that, okay, if the gold coins have been found at 10th century site but at no earlier site, it does indicate to some extent that, yeah, probably some medieval trade opened up. Now the magnitude, which means how strong it is indicating, how strongly it is indicating. Now that you can doubt that the magnitude is not that high, that there are multiple gaps that I can find that, okay, gold coins need not mean trade opened up. Probably some people just moved here from there and carried uh, uh, their possessions with them, right? Or it could be that these gold coins don't even belong to the 10th century site. They have been found there but need not belong to the 10th century site. So there are gaps there, right? But the presence of gaps indicates that it's not a very good strengthener, or the impact or the magnitude is not that high, but it is essentially about the magnitude. But the first thing to understand about an option is the sign. Okay, so whenever you are evaluating a strength and weaken option, first focus on the sign. Is it a completely neutral statement, or does it indicate even a tiny bit something? Okay, so that's a very important thing that I see people consistently making errors in between sign and magnitude. First, understand the sign, essentially whether the option has any impact or not. Then worry about, okay, how strong impact does it have. I hope this is helpful. Let me know whether this helped you in any way.